The Angry Chicken Hearthstone podcast is produced by amove.tv. Check out amove TV for more podcasts covering Blizzard games. For more of Jocelyn's gaming podcasts, visit jossplays.com. And to find many more podcasts with Ridiculous Hat, follow @RidiculousHat on Twitter. Every episode of TAC is made possible thanks to our legendary patrons over at patreon.com/TAC.
Time's up. Let's do this.
Legendary!
You face Jaraxxus. You smell like a leper gnome. I knew it. So hot.
A podcast about Hearthstone and Battlegrounds. This is The Angry Chicken!
Greetings and welcome back, everybody. This is TAC, as advertised in the intro that you just heard. I'm Garrett Weinzerl, here as always with Jocelyn Carney. Ridiculous Hat is out this week. He said to let you all know that he could not make it at Slysssa o'clock, which means that we are joined today, rejoined by Slysssa.
Slysssa o'clock. Listen, you know, an 8 p.m., 9 p.m. bedtime is normal for a gamer.
Thank you. Thank you, Slysssa.
No, don't encourage that.
I constantly get shamed by Hat and Joce who are like, Garrett, why don't you write back to us after 11 p.m.? And I'm like, because I'm asleep.
But asleep for hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to be up at 4 a.m., so I appreciate you guys having this a bit earlier for me.
I like it better when it's early. And it usually can't be, so I'm all for it.
You're gonna invite me onto the show every week, aren't you?
Yeah. That's
sorry,
my.
Slyssa's on again.
Yeah, that's the real thing. You know, you being an awesome guest that has insane Battlegrounds knowledge bombs to drop is just like a side effect.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is one of those rare episodes where we get to be super timely about news that has broken in the world of Hearthstone. Typically, we record on Monday, and then all of our friends over on the Hearthstone team go, ha-ha, we'll announce big, giant things first thing Tuesday morning.
Like they're not gonna do that tomorrow?
Well, they
Hello,
are. That's fair. That's fair.
They're doing it again tomorrow. Like, why twice in 1 week? Come on, spread it out, fam.
That said, if we had to cover this and the Mercenaries reveal, and I think, didn't they say they're also doing like announcing nerfs to standard as it exists? Like, if we had to do all of that in a single episode, we'd be here for the entire day. So I'm fine with it. I'm fine with them breaking it up like this. So today's going to be a big fat Battleground special. Because my goodness, the mode is getting updated in a massive fashion, the likes of which we've never really seen before. So, big old Battlegrounds refresh not only got announced today, but it is coming tomorrow.
It reminds me of the time that they refreshed it when they got rid of like the Annoyo bot. What was it called? That was the one, the Noyatron, and they got rid of Boogie Monster. They got rid of those like kind of like meaningless things.
Oh God, I forgot about Boogie Monster.
Yeah, like the things that were like,
Didn't they get rid of
why
Cobalt at the same time?
Oh, Cobalt Guardian. That was the good minion they got rid of. They got rid of like the meta-defining minion and then a bunch of the also rans.
They got rid of a lot of stuff that just kind of felt, a little boring. But they did that again with those cards that you just like barely touch. It feels like the what's the one drop Microbot, the one too that I've never bought.
Oh. yeah. I guess so. I guess that was all that. Like to me, like this reminds me of like how excited I was the first time they did a major minion edition. So I guess that would have been dragons, right?
Dragons,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that
was great.
Yeah, but this is on a whole nother level. So that's going to be the entire subject of today's podcast. We'll see how long it goes. Little bit of housekeeping before we get started. As always, we want to thank those of you supporting us over at patreon.com/TAC. We've got some new patrons. Thank you to, I'm going to pronounce this Mech or MMIK. You know, I like Mech. It's fun to say. Also, Fade to Black. And like minutes ago, got a little notification that Bailey Box has become a patron. So thank you for supporting the podcast, you three. And everyone out there listening, you want to support what we're doing here, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/TAC. Get access to our Discord server and also an ad-free version of the show on a little feed made just for you. So go check it out. Also, we have contests, winners to announce, and another contest to start up. So if you entered our Beauties and Cuties giveaway from last week, we pulled winners just before the podcast today. So congratulations to Jacob, Ponius, Meaty, and Ramu. Your codes have been sent to you. I will not say how in case anyone wants to try and hack you.
Not rigging it for me? Come on.
Like you don't already.
Those cuties.
You don't already have the Beauties and or Cuties?
Not on my third account. I only have it on 2.
On your third account, you have it on 2? Oh wow. Okay, so I'm lucky to have like perks on my second account. So
I think I have perks on 4 accounts right now.
I forgot that perks were part of the bundle for the last standard pre-order. And so I just kept playing after the expansion came out like normal on my main account without even thinking about it. And then I went over to my EU account and I was very angry when I only had 2 heroes to choose from.
I'm sure you were more angry that you couldn't have a cow.
Yes.
That is the only reason to have perks.
They really should just rename it to Happy Cow Access.
Yes.
Yeah.
Name it perks. Happy Cow Access. Love it.
Yeah. But we've got another giveaway for the next week, similar to last week. We have 4 Guardians of Azeroth Battlegrounds bundles this time to give away. This were sent to us by the Hearthstone team. Same as last week, we just put out a tweet right before going live for the show from the TAC podcast account. So go follow and retweet for a chance to win. I'm sure if you're listening to podcasts, you're already following. You wouldn't dare be listening to the sound of my voice and not be following the podcast account. No.
Never.
You would not hurt my feelings like
As
that.
Slysssa finds the follow button.
Oh God. I realized that I feel like there was at one point I realized I wasn't following Joce and I was like, what? Like
I knew.
So embarrassed. I was like, how am I not following Joce? I love her.
Oh, I mean, if we're
when
gonna
you find out you're not following someone on Twitter, you try to like slyly do it. Like at a time they might not notice. You're like, I'm gonna sneak in there. Oh God.
I do that a lot when rating people on Twitch, where I'm just like, oh no, I'm not following them already.
Yeah. Shoot.
And it's followers only chat, and I like want to drop like some emojis in as we raid, and
then there's like a 10-minute delay.
Yeah, but then I'm also like, but I don't
away.
want to follow because I don't want the notification to be a move has rated you, a move has followed you, and I'm like, oh, that's a bad sign. So I wait until they log off to follow. Yeah, I follow on Twitch when you're not streaming, everybody, just so you know. Yep, I'm a lurker. So anyways, good luck. Go join that. Go enter that contest. We'll pull winners for next week's episode, which currently the recording date is up in the air. Will be no later than Wednesday. It's Labor Day next week.
There's a holiday, yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing.
We like actually, want to take a day off and enjoy ourselves. So
How
Crazy
dare
talk.
you.
Drink a high noon.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
But all right, let's get into this week's Battleground news because there is just a ton to talk about, which means I get to dust off the Battlegrounds bumper. It goes like this.
Have a good battle, friend.
The Battlegrounds refresh is coming tomorrow. If you're unaware, we record the show on Mondays. So if you're like, it's not tomorrow, it's already out. It's because you're getting the show on the download, everybody. That's how linear time works. It's coming with an MMR reset, a refresh to all of Battlegrounds. There's a ton of minions leaving. There is an absurd amount of minions coming in. It's madness, everybody.
Yes.
I also hear that, I don't know, I'm going to rip this Band-Aid off right now. I also hear that Slysssa are mad about certain minions that are staying.
I am very upset about tokens staying while Shudderwalk is still around. And I mean, tokens are pretty busted with Hook, Tusk, and Jandis as well. But with Shudderwalk, especially in the high MMR lobbies, it becomes this game where your final score of the top 8 is at what point do you face Shudderwalk. You get 8th place if you face them the first turn after they popped off. You get 7th if you face them the 7th turn after, the second turn after. And your placement doesn't matter on what you've been doing all game. It just depends on when you face Shudderwock, which is super frustrating and not a fun game to play. So yeah, I assumed when they announced the new Shudderwock hero that they released it 2 weeks prior to the new minions because they would be deleting tokens. And that in my head, I was like, oh yeah, the devs would never let them both be around. Like that would just be too broken. So they probably just did it for like a fun 2 weeks because there's just no way they would think this is balanced. And so I just like has been assuming they were deleting tokens and they didn't. And I'm just like perplexed because every game I face it's so frustrating. And although they do have a 15 damage cap that was just introduced, for those who do not know, what's going on now is that you can't take more than 15 damage in a turn until one person dies. But once that one person dies, you can take more than 15 damage, is my understanding. Yeah, and what happens is Shudderwock just pops off so incredibly that they have a bunch of 6 drops by then, right? Or 5 drops. So it just takes the one person dying in my mind. Now, I haven't played it yet, so maybe it's not going to happen the way I feel like it's going to happen. But they can just get to those minions so early that I just feel like they'll just murder people still.
Yeah, and the cap only applies in a lobby where someone doesn't disconnect. And I don't know about you guys, but I have a disconnect off the first turn in my lobby probably in like 40 to 50% of my games. Like, there's almost always somebody who's like, this is a terrible hero. I don't want to play. I had bad selections. I'm just going to move on to the next one, which then opens up that lobby for, and I feel like if someone sees a token Shudderwock lobby, they're just going to be like, nope, I'm out. And so like, it doesn't really address, like, because it doesn't specifically target Shudderwock or tokens, it doesn't really address the specific problem, right? I think it's maybe a good change overall, but I think the disconnect rule is kind of like, well, now we can just get, 30 damage from turn 3 or 4 or whatever, whenever they go off. And that's just not fun.
Last week, Alec Dawson from the Hearthstone team tweeted out kind of a rough overview of what we can expect balance-wise and change-wise over the next few weeks. And he basically kind of broke it down to like 2 things are going to happen on the 31st, which is 2 Warlock changes are happening. Also from the 31st until September 10th, they're going to be evaluating the meta. And then they said on the 10th of September, they're going to be deciding if changes are needed, and that later in September, any of those changes that they decide on are going to go live. And finally in here, the point I was getting to, in parentheses, Battlegrounds included, were mentioned. So
far away.
I mean, I could see the sadness dawning on your face.
I'm curious because of the 15 damage cap, how it will work out. But I do know that a lot of people use their health as to an advantage to play greedy. So you can use that 15 damage cap to your advantage to play in a greedy sense. Again, I haven't seen it and felt it in action. There's a lot of times that you see something and that you have theories about it until you actually feel it and play with it, and then you're wrong. So in my mind, that 15 damage cap might be used in this kind of greedy way, especially at high level. I also play in a league, in a tournament style league, and I'm very curious how it will work there because it's teammate based, so you get to face a teammate, and so that could allow for more greed in that sense. So I'm very, very curious how it's going to work out.
Yeah, it's so many changes. I mean, normally if I was, talking like a normal human being, I'd be like, it is going to be so damn near impossible to evaluate this patch. But that's exactly what we're here to do today.
So here we go.
I will say too, in defense of the devs, as a maybe it's okay thing, maybe they did add a ton of 6 drops without taking that many 6 drops, which means that it's harder to hit a spike with a particular minion. So like, let's say you're gonna spike if you hit double Eliza. Well, it's gonna be way less odds of hitting double Eliza because of the additional 6 drops. So that is one way I might slightly defend them, but I'm not going to defend him yet. Not until I feel it. I will say I very much appreciate the devs and everything that they do. I love them to death. I love just teasing them a bit. And I love a lot of the new minions that they've come up with. So
yeah, there's some really cool stuff in here, and we're gonna kind of take a look at the minions and kind of try our best to go minion type by minion type without going. We're not going to evaluate 37 minions in a row if that's what you're showing up for.
I already did that on my YouTube if you want it.
I was about to ask. I actually didn't know if it was up on your. I haven't had a chance to visit YouTube today, but I figured something like that would be up. So you should go to
immediately once it went live. I did this hour-long review. You can go youtube.com/SlyssaHS.
Awesome.
It's there.
So some of the more specifics that we haven't talked about. So we already talked about the 15 damage cap, but also happening in tomorrow's patch is that we're getting a new Battleground specific keyword that's called Avenge. And the way that this works and the way it's been described is that it does something after X friendly minions die, and it can happen more than once.
Yes, that's a very, very important fact of Avenge.
Arthas is very interested
more
in
than
that.
one time.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Yeah, very interesting for maybe certain heroes that can give reborn. Or
everyone can now, right?
I
Isn't there not
technically.
reborn granting minion?
That is fair. That is a good point.
They took some hero powers and tied them to minions with some like caveats and stuff. And there's some cool designs in this patch.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's 37 minions in total being replaced with new ones. They're adding 2 new heroes, which we'll talk about here in just a second. There are no more Dark Moon prizes, which I barely ever got them anyway, so I won't really notice that they're gone.
I think the main reasoning they said was because this will allow you time to get used to the new cards without having to worry about that extra layer of Dark Moon prizes. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe add them back in at a certain point. They have that ability, but it's probably smart for them to take them out for now. And they've also added in a 5-second turn timer between turns 3 and 9. So for those so that until you get used to the new cards, there's going to be a little bit extra time given. And then once you're used to the cards, they will take that away.
Yeah. We mentioned the MMR reset, and then the Battlegrounds perks are going to give you a higher chance of getting new heroes, with heroes being offered in each lobby. Max of 1 new hero offered. So
excited about this. This is a huge deal because there is the Mr. Bigglesworth catastrophe of mine was Mr. Bigglesworth came out and he was like the biggest new hero, right? He was such a cool vibe at the time, still is. Everyone loves Mr. Bigglesworth. It took me 4 days to get offered him. And so the people who got him first, they love to play with him, but their YouTube content just skyrocketed and I couldn't get him on any account. I was so frustrated. So as a content creator who just wants to make videos for new heroes and new things, I am very, very excited. And if you're a casual player, you have to be excited.
You could still have terrible luck, especially when we have a small pool of heroes, right? So there's only 2 new heroes added. So if there's 8 players in your lobby, all with perks, which when you're playing at your high MMR, Slysssa, I bet everyone's going to have perks. So it's like those 2 heroes will be guaranteed to be offered to your lobby, not necessarily
but not to the same
you.
person. Yeah. Not to the same. The same person can't get 2 new heroes.
Yes, so exactly. But they could get a new hero over and over and over in every battleground that they're in. So you could still have terrible luck. That's all I'm saying.
In theory, 25% of the time I should get a new hero.
Yeah.
But I have if we're as unlucky as Crip, who knows?
Have you ever considered your extra accounts? Are they all under the same battle tag, or do you also have secondary BattleNet accounts?
I have secondary BattleNet accounts.
I was gonna say, have you ever tried just like running multiples all at the same time and like deciding which lobby you're gonna play depending on the heroes that you're offered?
I wish.
Just tank your MMR on all other MMR. Accounts.
I wish I didn't care that much.
All I'm hearing is that you need to get a lot of extra accounts, specifically for new hero weeks.
Yes.
You can just burn MMR with reckless abandon.
I had to do that one time when I had to make a video for the Hearthstone launcher, and it had to be a Silas guide. So I had to win with Silas, and he was not that good when he first came out. I just had to conceding just to try and get him offered to me. And then I had to win with him when he was offered. So it was just like, and I had like 3 days to make the video from his launch. It was brutal. Oh,
listen, I haven't clicked Tavern Brawl on purpose in probably 2 years. So if they want to make a Tavern Brawl that's it's Battlegrounds, but you get to pick what hero you want to enter with, I would play that.
You could have a lobby of 8 Shutterwalks.
I've talked to devs a lot about wanting Tavern Brawls for Battlegrounds, where they just do every week something different. Like start with 3 Xeris? Was that what it was called in your hand? What was the...
Oh, Shifter, yeah.
Oh, Shifter Xeris. Yeah.
Yeah, like something like that, or everyone's patches, or everyone's Galacron. Something interesting. They do really fun things with it, but...
Yeah. Wacky...
One day.
Wacky Battlegrounds rules would be very entertaining. Also, I seem to notice it's relying. I think rarity gems are gone. I haven't seen them on a single damn card, which I guess would make sense, seeing as Sneeds is gone, and that was the only card that actually had a rarity interaction.
Mm-hmm. Very good noticing skills. I don't know if that's the right word.
Observation?
Observation is a word. It seems correct. Very good. I didn't notice that until you wrote it in the notes for the day, and I was like, "Oh, I did not notice that." But yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. There's
I specifically
they still have like the legendary dragon edge on some of them.
Yeah, they don't have legendary edge.
Yeah,
right.
Okay, so if they wanted more,
no gems.
Yeah, if they wanted more like legendary, like summon a legendary thing, if they wanted to put that back in, I guess you could still delineate that with just the border on the minion. So
yeah,
I guess that makes a lot of sense. All right, well, let's talk about the 2 new heroes before we get into the meat, which is just going to be talking about all the minion type changes that are happening. First is Master Nugan. How do you pronounce that?
I said that today. I was told by a couple people. I think it's
Nuyen, according to Hachikumo in the chat room.
Someone said that it's actually closer to win in the translation. I'm calling him Master for now until I can guarantee, because I don't want to mess it up. It's one of those things I'm just like, I don't want to mess
And even in chat room right now is giving 2 different, like...
Yeah, I keep seeing 2 different things, like between win and Nguyen. So Nguyen. I'm gonna call him Master Panda.
Well, now we're just being trolled by the chat room because I
see
like
I feel
Gwen
like
in
maybe
there.
they're messing with us.
Nguyen. It's close to win. So maybe it's like it's Nguyen.
Nguyen is fun to say, so I'm going to say Nguyen for now until I am told otherwise. But anyways, Master Nguyen's hero power is Power of the Storm. It's a passive hero power, and it reads, at the start of every turn, choose from 2 new hero powers. This one already hurts my brain.
So think of it as just like when you're playing Hook Tusk and you choose between 2 minions. You're choosing between 2 hero powers to use for the turn. So for example, if it gave you George or a Fom, at the beginning of the turn, you'd show you a George shield or a Fom steel, and you'd pick which one you want for that turn. You'd pick the George shield, and then you'd have just the George hero power for the turn.
So like Finley, but all the time. Over and over and over and over.
Every turn. It's not combining 2 hero powers. It's not like that, which I know people really want, but it's not combining. It's a choose, and every turn it's a different choose.
I went looking and wasn't able to find any dev comments on this, but I'm assuming it's going to skip multi-turn hero powers.
Oh yeah, I would assume.
Yeah, I don't know what the pool would look like if I would
if
think
I get
that
offered,
they would take stuff out, but
if I get offered flight paths, am I then locked into that for however many turns for the flight path that I chose, or am I just not offered flight paths?
That's a good
can you
point.
have like hero powers hidden behind other hero powers? Like you choose a flight path and then like choose a new hero power, but your flight path is still behind.
Oh my goodness! We have multiple devs in the chat room confirming that it is a curated pool of hero powers.
Makes sense. It does make sense.
Won't be Curator, won't be N'Zoth. But there's definitely going to be certain heroes that are really good late game and certain ones that are really good early game. So consider that when you're choosing. Like Tess could be really good late game if your opponent has Direction or Amalgadons.
And cost too, right? Like you want to take your cost of whatever hero power into consideration. Like if you can weave it into what you want to do on that turn anyways, like all of that's going to come into play.
That's a really good point, because on like 9 gold, let's say you normally want to level for 6 and buy for 3, and that's all you have for money. So if they offer you something that costs 2 or 1 gold, you're likely not going to want to take it unless it's really super beneficial. So yeah, I would just say the main thing would be to take tempo hero options in the early game for tempo stuff, take greedy hero options later game, and very much consider economy, like Josh said. But this hero seems awesome. I think he sounds amazing. Like you might like get unlucky some games with it because of that cost issue, but he sounds super good and like fun, super fun.
And then the other new hero is Cariel Rome, is finally joining us in Battlegrounds with a hero power that you may recognize from Standard, but works a little bit differently. It's called Conviction. It's going to cost you 1 gold to utilize this hero power, but it has 3 ranks. Rank 1 starts off reading, give a random friendly minion +1/+1. It can upgrade to rank 2 when you upgrade to Tavern Tier 3, and then it gives 3 random friendly minions +1/+1. And then when you upgrade to Tier 5, it upgrades to rank 3. Did I say rank 3? I meant rank 2. Whatever. And it gives 5 random friendly minions +1/+1. Is this just a significantly worse Cthulhu?
Seems like a significantly worse Kurtrus to me. Like it costs money, which Kurtrus is free. Kurtrus gives way more buff. And I guess Kurtrus isn't free because you have to buy minions, but it's like an investment because you can use the minions.
Yeah, and they're like part of the economy. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't. It costs money. It seems so bad and boring.
How dare you cost money?
Yeah, well, because like it upgrades at Tavern Tier 3, meaning you're never. Or you're likely only going to use, you might use it on 5 gold, I guess, because if you don't have a token, and then Tavern Tier 3, you can use it on 8 gold. It's just a tempo hero, I guess. So you'd use it on 5 gold, 8 gold, and 10 gold, I suppose. So I guess I just think all tempo heroes are boring. I don't think I'm alone.
I'm with you on this one. I think this is one of the more basic heroes we've gotten in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for new players because I know I was talking to someone recently, my workout trainer. I was trying to get him into the game, and he was just so confused and so many things. And I realized we have so many new heroes, so many new minions, so many types that it probably is insanely intimidating for a new player. So this could be a hero that I would put high up in like a tier list for a new player friendly kind of, I guess. But yeah, she seems boring.
Listen, we're getting 37 new minions. So something need to be a little boring in this update, right?
No.
Right. Oh,
no.
Okay.
I get rid of tokens. That'd be so boring.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 new heroes, and I think they're polar opposites in terms of my interest, and I think their intricacy of play.
Yeah, their complexity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be fine. It's okay that I don't direly want to play one of the 2 new heroes, but yeah, Cariel Rome. I don't know. I guess they were just so afraid of how Conviction overperformed in Standard that they decided to make it really not all that impactful in Battlegrounds.
That's unfair to us Battleground players who don't know her power.
I also play Paladin in Standard, so it's unfair to me across the board. Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, before we get into our meaty minion type discussion, let's take a quick break and thank this week's sponsor. Hello, dear listeners. Have you ever found yourself with a dire need to create your own soundtrack? Maybe your neighbors let a oak tree go a little too long and it's taking them far longer than it should to actually trim the darn thing up, and so you're sweetly serenaded by the sound of chainsaws cutting through the thickest freaking limbs a Florida tree could possibly have. And this isn't entirely personal at all. No, it isn't. Get on it, next door neighbors. Anyways, thankfully, I have my Raycon earbuds that I can put in my ears, and I don't need to listen to those damn chainsaws anymore. I get to continue listening to musical tastes that have not evolved since 2005. Yeah, that's right. I'm still listening to American Idiot. You know it. I know it. I'm just admitting to it. So you should go check out Raycon because they make amazing earbuds. These are actually the same earbuds that Jocelyn and myself use. They come with a bunch of gel tips too for your comfort, and unlike some other brands, they don't stick out of your ears. Also, Raycons have a 32-hour battery life, so you can listen to whatever you want, whenever you want, for a really long time. So create your own soundtrack with Raycon. Right now, Angry Chicken listeners can get 15% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/TAC. That's buyraycon.com/TAC to save 15% on Raycons. Buyraycon.com/TAC. We thank them for their support. We thank you for supporting the brands that support us here at The Angry Chicken. Now let's get back to the show before I hear the sound of a big branch hitting the ground. All right, there are so many damn minions leaving, so many damn minions coming into Battlegrounds. Let's talk about it from minion type by minion type, starting with beasts, which look to be keeping their traditional death rattly flavor.
Death rattle
being
fun.
like upgraded in ways that work in Battlegrounds instead of being tied directly to standard or wild, I guess, in some cases.
Yes, there's definitely it is a buff to beasts, and I'm really excited for beasts now with all the new death rattles. There's a cute new leapfrogger that you could see here.
Best card.
This card reminds me of the hat from the solo adventure. You know what I'm talking about? Like the dungeon run where there's
Reno's
a prize.
lucky hat or
Yes, Reno's hat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
hat.
Yes.
So this card reads, give a friendly beast +2/+2 and this death rattle. So that means when it dies, then the next beast that gets it will give another friendly beast +2/+2. The starting stats of this is 3/3, which is super fair. It's the same stats as the pirate money. So it's just a fair tier 2 stat. But if you have a bunch of other beasts, this can really blossom. So, and it's such a cute image and card. If you're listening to this and aren't seeing it, it's a frog on a squirrel. It's adorable.
And they are,
it's the cutest Battlegrounds card. Like, it just is.
yeah, this might be the cutest card illustration I've seen all year, standard releases included.
He's just having so much fun. The frog is just pure joy, and his tongue's like hanging out behind him while he's riding the squirrel. It just is great. It's perfect. It's perfect.
It's so
no
cute.
changes. Going gold every time.
Good card. Good card art.
Yep.
Yeah.
They replaced Kindly Grandma with Sewer Rat, which is way more stats, therefore just way better tempo. Kindly Grandma is out of here.
Yeah, it's a 3/2 that spawns a 2/3 with taunt when it dies, as opposed to a 1/1 that summons a 3/2.
Right. So it's just like incredibly more stats.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna get a lot more done.
The tier 4 minion is where we start to get really interesting, where it is Battlecry, give a friendly beast reborn.
Yeah, on a 6/2 body. So yeah, you're really buying this for its battle cry.
Yeah. So
how did they not squeeze any Lich King reference into this card?
Maybe we just don't see it.
Arthas a big Cobra fan?
Maybe.
Or bad biology fan? Because Cobras don't have rattlers. What's going on here?
I thought this card would be really interesting with Mama Bear, so it doesn't get sniped as normal. With Goldrin, with if you need tempo and you have a gas coiler. So this card just it's very powerful and good. It's replacing the 4/5 Vermin Sensei, which buffs a beast 2/2, which was just kind of meh tempo. So I just think this has a lot more flavor and fun.
Yeah, there's some interesting units that like are not leaving, because like when I think of Vermin Sensei, I was basically never excited for it, except for when I found a really early Cave Hydra and also found Vermin Sensei early on. But Cave Hydra is still in Battlegrounds with this update, so it won't be, I guess, as easy to give it targeted attack because Vermin Sensei is out. But I think of that as like an edge case. I would so much rather have access to Reborn when I'm drafting Beast.
Well, and I think Cave Hydra works really well in either a Goldrin comp or a Menagerie comp. Sorry, my beasts are going crazy. I think that Menagerie got a nerf, so Menagerie will not be as strong. And so that means Cave Hydra is going to be more in a Goldrin comp, likely, which is not one that you're scaling with a minion like a 4/5. So that's my initial reaction to that. I think for those who do not know, Mithrax was taken out, which is a Menagerie card that really gives you some early scale. That was removed. And
the Quillboar guy's still in, right?
The Quillboar guy's still
correct.
in. Lightfang's still in. But there was a lot of just like new cards to help out minion types. So that means you will likely just lean into a type, especially with Hamul on tier 6.
Yes.
Hamul. But I could be wrong, but.
Which, I mean, I kind of like that design decision just because as much as I was a fan of Menagerie early on, it did start to feel like Menagerie comps were just really, really, really good. And
yeah, they're pretty powerful right now.
Yeah, and you could kind of like just substitute one or two pieces as you had to, depending on what like types of minions were in your pool. But it wasn't enough to really make the comp feel that much different or that special, right? So
right,
yeah, I think this kind of like making each individual minion type stronger is just a better, more healthy way for Battlegrounds to be, so that each lobby feels a whole lot different.
Yep, I can agree with that. And I mean, I think Menagerie's fun, and maybe it'll be back to strongest eventually, and they'll switch it back and forth, because you can patches and it's always evolving. So for now, I think it might be put on the back burner a little bit. But they also added in this 5-drop Crocolisk, which is Avenge. So this is our first Avenge card that we can see. Or actually, we missed one, but Avenge works where it says Avenge 2. This means that the text will work when 2 minions die. And it works every 2
time.
Minions.
Yeah.
Every time 2 minions dies, this works. So Crocolisk will give another V6/6. So you can use this on your way up to finding Goldrin, which is tier 6, and can grab this prior. It works with Macaw because it has Death Rattle on it.
Oh my god, I didn't even like register. I was just thinking like, oh my god, every 2 minions that die, this thing's gonna be buffing Beast, and then it's like, oh wait, and when it dies. So even if your taunt dies and this gets sniped, you're still guaranteed a buff. like
yeah.
This is pretty gnarly, and I think this card's such a good example of like how Avenge is like truly different from Death Rattle, because of the way that this like the multi-trigger scenarios with Pale Scale Crocolisk. This is
you'll have to hide it, right? Because you want every 2 minions to die. It does mean too that you could use it with like Rat Pack and stuff, because those have a lot of minions, and normally you wouldn't put Rat Pack in like a Macaw style comp. But Avenge rewards you for having more minions. So
kind of either way, whether it triggers your rat guy's Death Rattle or this Death Rattle, like they're both kind of good. Like either more minions to fuel your Avenge, or, more stats going on to your Rat Pack. Like
I'd still be concerned about board space, because Macaw tends to be the first attacker. And if it's like Rat Pack, I would just go, no, that was the worst possible.
Thanks, Macaw.
Why? This definitely did not happen today to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little interesting, but some really cool stuff going on here. Like the fact that like I'm looking at Pale Skull Crocolisk and I'm excited about like a tier 2 minion in Sewer Rat working off of Crocolisk. Like that's really cool.
Yeah.
And we should just clarify too that the Crocolisk will give that buff to friendly beasts, not friendly minions. So not
Menagerie.
Yeah.
So
not pirates, not scallywags.
So the reigning powerhouses, like both old school and modern, of Goldrin and Mama Bear, are still in Battlegrounds.
Mm-hmm.
So this
are.
Yeah, and it kind of seems to be the trend across most of the minion types. It seems like they're not trying to like completely upset the apple cart or the style of each minion type. They're just trying to really double down on what they do and make them do it better.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they never take away Mama Bear, because I just remember at the beginning, everyone just thought she was like so broken and busted. And it's funny where we've come now, because she's just like good. She's good.
Yeah, she's kind of middle of the road.
Yeah, but she's fine, and I'll pick her and use her, but I don't think she's broken.
I got a second wind of being really excited about Mama Bear once Hamul got added, and it became a lot easier to find cave hydras to redeploy. But yeah, it's what I like about Battlegrounds. It's just liking old cards again when new things get added. But let's move on and talk about demons, who are kind of going in a somewhat new direction with consuming. The word consume appears on higher up on the demon end with their 5 and their 6 drops, with Insatiable Urzul, which is this new 4/6 taunt at tier 5 that reads, after you play a demon, consume a minion in Bob's Tavern to gain its stats. And then at tier 6, there's also Famished Fellbat, which is a 9/5 that reads, at the end of your turn, each friendly demon consumes a minion in Bob's Tavern to gain its stats. So it's having this late game consume theme that demons previously didn't have.
I think demons got a really good buff, because with big scaling demons, the problem with Pink Boy comp is that you're starting to take way too much damage by the time you found Turtle. So what they've done is they've taken Turtle Mal'Ganis, the 5-drop, and made him a 4-drop in Catherinator.
I think it's Catherinator.
Catherinator. Thank you.
Joss, you're the lore nerd. Get in here with the demon pronunciations.
Sorry. I was putting timestamps and notes.
I'm so sorry. I'm so bad at names and reading and English and I don't know. Anyways, so they've made Pink Boy comp way more viable with this card, moving it down to tier 4. And then I'm actually kind of curious about the 6-drop, if we can look at that, the Famished Fellbat, which we said at the end of your turn, each friendly demon consumes a minion in Bob's Tavern and doubles its stats. I wonder if this will have more synergy with Pink Boy comp or Soul Juggler comp, because with Pink Boy comp,
which are still in.
Yeah, both which are still in. Those are the 2 archetypes of demons for the most part. And at first I thought this would go with the big boy minion type, but a lot of your minions aren't actually demons. They're the pink boys that don't read demons. So I wonder how this Fellbat would work with Soul Juggler comp, because then you're actually are able to scale your Soul Juggler comp, which is one of its flaws, is that it doesn't scale.
Well, that's interesting too, though, because then you're no longer getting juggler value, because your demons aren't dying if they're scaling correctly. So that almost makes me think of oh my god, what's the growing infernal? I always forget the name of the damn thing.
Green
Boy. Green Boy is staying in the game.
Yes, Green Boy. That's the thing.
I always forget the name of
fell something like fell grower.
Big Fernal. Big Fernal.
I did not read
you.
chat for that. I knew that off the top of my head.
Yeah, Green Boy. We all knew what you're talking about. So Big Fernal's not going anywhere. So that almost makes me think of like, if I didn't get to scale early because of my Wrathweavers, that I pick up a Big Fernal kind of in the mid game and scale that way, and Famished Fellbat helps me finish it off. Because now Juggler comp seems even weirder to me. Juggler comp has always seemed weird.
Yeah, they took a couple things from Juggler comp away, but they did add the Icky Imp, which is a tier 1 Death Battle Summon 2 1/1 imps. So it's early game 3 minions. It could help early game to get an Avenge off. So if there's some permanent avenges, which I've seen in other cards, but yeah, I think big demons have been improved, which is good to see because it was a little rough for a bit.
Yeah.
ever since they deleted Blue Boy. Wrath Weaver? No, that's Pink Boy.
Wrathweaver's Pink Boy. Who's Blue Boy?
Voidwalker?
No, Blue Boy.
Voidwalker is not draftable. Voidwalker comes off Void Daddy.
No, he was tier 3, then tier 4, and the AFK abused him. What was his name?
Oh, are you talking about
Blue Boy.
Oh God, Floating Watcher.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, Cobalt Guardian. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, Cobalt Guardian. We're talking about Cobalt Guardian. You know, Floaty Boy, not blue. Is Floaty Watcher
Floaty
blue?
Boy. Okay, I was like blue. I don't think it's purple.
Remind you that I am the resident Battlegrounds pro here. Don't know the names of any of the cards. I play this game.
You know what? He is blue.
Hours a day. He is Blue Boy.
He is blue. The background is green, and I think of Floating Watcher as green, but it's the background, not the actual.
Oh yeah,
minion,
we call him Floaty Boy.
I could have sworn he was purple, so just yeah, I guess.
All I'm learning is that if I spent less time learning the names of minions in Battlegrounds, maybe my MMR would be higher.
Yeah, who cares about names?
I don't need names. I just need pictures.
Yeah.
But apparently I can't even remember those, so rip.
I just need to not click back in from alt tabbing out and activating my hero power on turn 1 and leaving myself not enough gold to buy a minion.
Oh.
That happened at lunch today. I was very embarrassed. And then I do a freaking Khadgar Sneeds who double spawned 6 drops. But that won't be happening anymore, thankfully. And even if it could, I could only take a maximum of 15 damage. So
because of Sneeds, not because of Khadgar. Khadgar is still around.
Yeah, it makes sense if they're keeping token. Like,
let's not talk about that.
Okay. I'm impressed with
5 minutes without complaining. Okay.
I'm impressed with your resolve to not yell about tokens because
I paced my house enough today to really get some energy out.
Because I had Twitter open most of today and I saw more tweets than I would have expected on the subject.
That's what she's doing, pacing and tweeting.
Check it on my computer, check it on my phone, check it on my computer, check it on my phone. Like while I'm sitting there, like, oh, I'm crazy. Let's talk about Max.
Yeah, my first love and my lost love.
Max used to be great, then they were okay, or bad, and then they were okay. They've been okay because of ARM, but
depending on the hero you got.
Yeah, but now there's Puppbot, so life is better.
Yeah, this is
He's
basically
pretty cute.
This is basically a shielded mini bot in Battlegrounds. It's tier 1, 2/1 Divine Shield mech. Yeah, bring me back tier 1 Divine Shields.
Yeah, Daryl and Cthulhu be like, wee.
Yeah.
Hey, with my little cute Cthulhu picture, I can definitely picture him going.
Yeah, our 4 winners from today are gonna love it.
All about that cute thing. Ever since I got those damn portraits, by the way, I keep forgetting who my heroes are. I still have not gotten used to it, but
I keep picking the cute ones, even if they're bad heroes. I'm like, I don't even care. I just want to be adorable.
I keep getting
the bad ones.
I keep getting offered hot Kael'thas, but way better other 3 options, and I'm just like, damn it, I want to be Bondage Kael'thas, but here we find ourselves.
Gotta pick the daddy every time.
Mm-hmm. Hey, daddy, I was watching your stream the other day, and you didn't take him, and I was sad.
This doesn't seem right. Maybe it was my twin.
So back to Max.
Yeah. Max, they have definitely buff Max a lot.
Yeah, they seem super strong. It is like Divine Shield synergy to the absolute max.
I would say like for Mechs, there's 2 different types of Mechs you can go. You can go Deflectobot Mechs, where you're just trying to get as many divine shields backed on your deflectos as possible. And then the second style of mech was a death rattle mech with Kangors and eggs or Sneeds, but I mean that was not improved. So death rattle mech was not improved, but divine shield mech was improved a lot with these new cards like Grease Bot, Mechano Tank. Grease Bot.
Well, yeah, because they even have like a juggle-ish mechanic now with the
a targeted juggle.
Yeah, a targeted juggle with, so if you're making a lot of tokens because you're trying to like refresh your shields and stuff, then you're gonna also be dealing damage to high health minions to kind of soften them up a little bit. So there's a lot going on now.
Mechano Tank deals 6 damage every 2 minions that die because it has the Avenge 2. If 2 minions die, deal 6 damage to highest health enemy minions. Again, like you don't need, that doesn't have to be a mech that dies. You could have those demons that we talked about, that it's the 1 demon and 2 spawn off of it. That's 3 minions right there. You could have the 2/1 Scallywag. These are all things that would help deal 6 damage to highest health minion. And then the Grease Bot, which gives 2/1 permanently every time you lose Divine Shield. So that's like replace the Junk Bot, Grease Bot. But I think what most people are excited for is Holy Meckerel.
Yes, Meckerel. You did hear that correctly, listeners at home. If you haven't looked at this note, it's not the return of Holy Mackerel, but it is Holy Mackerel for mechs. So it's going to be sitting at Tavern Tier 5. It's an 8/4 mech that reads, after another friendly minion loses Divine Shield, gain Divine Shield. Is anyone else having like a fever dream memory of the Holy Mackerel days?
I think that was when I first started getting into Battlegrounds and streaming it. And oh man, because like back then he was a Murloc, so he could have poison, and that's why he was so broken. So that's why they can move him down to Tier 5. He can't get poison, and he's definitely helping out Mech Comp, and I think he's gonna be fun. And a good inclusion by Cora. Cora did good. I'll say
Is Cora even working on Battleground stuff anymore?
She's apparently the one who did this.
Oh, okay. So we can actually say Cora did this and it's factually accurate instead of just normal, like, blame Cora.
Cora did this and Cora did PupBot. So we can say, thanks, Cora. And then the Omega Buster, also the new Tier 6 for Mech, has me really excited because it reads summon 6/1/1 microbots, and for each one that doesn't fit, give your mechs +1/+1. And this just reminds me of when my Amalgadon summons 20 plants, but there's just no room for 20 plants. I would be getting scale for each one that doesn't summon. And like, I can imagine those times where I don't get any of the plant summons I want. So I imagine this is Omega busted. Like, this seems really good to me.
This is just really cool design too, and
yes.
I mean, obviously, like every card that's being added is like a Battlegrounds unique design. So it seems silly to say something that kind of like they've really learned a lot of lessons and they're now like making this. They're making minions for this mode, but that's exactly what's going on here, and that's what Omega Buster really makes me feel is that. The devs have also been sitting there going, why do I have 7 plants and I'm getting none of them? Why does this feel so bad?
Yeah, no, this card seems really cool. I think because I think I screamed during my YouTube video reading it, just of how excited I was by the innovation of the card. It just had me really happy and excited for it. And according to a dev in chat, this card had magnetic once upon a time. Oh my god!
Oh, could you imagine this going on your
freaking
on
my Foe Reaper?
Deflectos? I was thinking
Foe
Deflecto,
Reaper's
but yeah,
still in. So yeah.
Let's get an extra 6 attack on it.
Or you're dueling Deflectos. You know how you end up with microbots on both, so when one dies, it resets the Divine Shield in the other. Imagine it reset the Divine Shield in your other Deflecto, but then also buffed your other Deflecto because you ran out of board space. Oh my god. That would have been... Oh. That was once set buff in place. Yes, to be very clear, this does not have magnetic.
No.
Yes.
But maybe one day
it will. And in a beast lobby, beast mech lobby, you can macaw this.
Oh.
Like full board. Macaw attacks,
Yeah,
and then you can't summon
wait.
any mechs, and then, oh my god.
Oh, you just
Go
drop a single macaw into your mech board?
Into your mech board.
You mad genius, Jocelyn.
Crazy womans. Crazy talk here. Get
Oh.
everything. If
Just
it's
saying.
golden. Oh my god.
And then you got a Baron on board? Baron's not leaving, right?
Nope, Baron's still in.
And then you golden your
Quillboar
macaw?
is leaving.
Oh, I golden my macaw, I golden my Baron, and then I get a bunch of Omega Busters. It's going to be great, everybody. It's going to be great.
Bust your comp.
All of our beasts have turned into robots. Got it.
Yeah. As far as what's out, it's Micro Machine, Iron Sensei, Junkbot, Security Rover, and Sneed's Old Shredder. I will only miss Iron Sensei, but I'll probably win more games because I stopped drafting him.
Sensei's a big deal, but with the new 4-drop, the grease spot that after a friendly minion loses Divine Shield, it gains 2/1 permanently. That's a big buff and that's exactly what you want the Sensei to hit, right? You want the Sensei to hit something with Divine Shield, so this is targeting Divine Shield for you. And plus, with how people have been playing ARM recently, with the Divine Shield taunt minions, the Sensei, it makes sense for this to replace it, but. We are hearing from a dev. Macaw drops into a lot of comps now. Ooh,
spicy.
It'll be the Macaw meta.
Yeah, so make sure when you look through the cards, think of how can Macaw work here. How can Macaw work here?
Every minion want a cracker. All right, well, let's talk about everyone's favorite Murlocs. I had such a fun freaking Flurgle game today. I don't understand why everyone isn't stoked about Flurgle. The new Flurgle's amazing.
I don't think I've had the new one yet.
I had some great games with it, and I've had some trash games with it. So I just don't know where to put it. Because if you hit the brand off a triple and like force triples and hit brands, you're just crushing it. But the game I whiff on brand, I just feel like, you're just going to die to Shutterwalk anyway. So why are you trying?
So, some of us.
There's a Gale Wing or a Shutterwalk to kill you.
Some of us only have 4 digits in our MMR. So, yeah, I'm not terrified of Shutterwalk every game that I see a Shutterwalk.
Yeah, I get that. Because some people are still trying to figure out how to use him, and he can be challenging to use if you're new to him, but
I picked him once and was like, everyone says this is broken, but I'm super dead. And then I watched a couple of videos and I was like, okay.
Tokens.
Now I understand.
I mean, I won with him without any tokens in the lobby. It was disgusting. Oh, gosh.
To be fair, I am not Slysssa.
Just get 100 Amalgadons. It's fine. With a golden brand,
Duh.
And all your minions will have Divine Shield poison. This is great. But I thought the Murlocs would get a much bigger change. There's only 4 new minions and 2 were removed.
Yeah, we're losing Tidecaller and Toxfin. Toxfin's a big one, but there's a very
get too excited.
obvious Toxfin replacement.
Yeah.
Stefan.
Which is so good. Whoever did that, thank you.
I didn't catch it until someone said it on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I love it.
It's phenomenal. So this is at tier 5. It's a 2/6 Murloc. Avenge 3. So every 3 minions that die, give a friendly Murloc poisonous permanently.
Mm-hmm.
So it is 3. It's
a big avenge number.
Yeah, it's
if your Murlocs
unlikely.
have scaled by then, it's kind of.
Yeah, it's unlikely, but not impossible that you're going to get 2 poisonouses in a single combat phase off of 7.
Yeah.
Can't get through reading this card out loud without laughing. But yeah, again, not impossible. Maybe you're having that Flurgle game where maybe you're not completely popping off, but you popped off enough that you're actually value trading with a Murloc or 2, and then Murlocs are still alive to receive the poisonous. It's kind of interesting.
I want to point out. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
I was just going to say, I like that there's something to go for a little bit later on with Murlocs. Like, I always really disliked, even though it fit kind of the way Murlocs always played in Standard, and even Warcraft to go, all the way back to Murloc origins is, like lots of them really quick, really cheap, like overwhelming. I get it. But from a Battlegrounds perspective, it always felt weird that there was just like nothing really to go for in the super high tavern tiers, right? It was just kind of like literally nothing available to you on 6, nothing. So I like that there's
Rip
something
dinosaur.
to do. Right? Yeah, Megasaur, yeah.
I mean, he was great. Great
So,
to go for.
It's like it's slower, but I think the poisonous payoff I think should be slower. And I really like that I have stuff to do while continuing to like level up through the taverns. Like it just feels like it fits Battlegrounds better to have poisonous available, but later.
I really like so the new 6 drop, it doesn't have a Murloc tag, but it's associated with Murlocs, and it reads make a Murloc golden. I didn't get this at first, but it doesn't have to be on your board. It could be in the shop. So it basically
I didn't consider that. Yeah.
I didn't either until my YouTube commenters who kindly reminded me it does not say on your board.
Kindly.
That sounded like a loaded kindly.
Yeah.
Well, they were kind because other people are not kind. But these people were kind. So that's my interpretation, is that you could do it on the other side of the board. Now I don't know because of the Devin chat. Am I wrong?
There's a winky face. It doesn't. The winky face is teasing.
You can't joke about that, devs. Your cards don't always do what they say they do.
I have such bad reading comprehension skills. So like today I was like very focused. Like I'm going to understand what every card means. And so at this one I was like, this seems terrible. Like why would I want, there's no good golden Murlocs. This is trash.
Yeah. Why would I want this gold on my board? This is what, because I thought the same thing. And then I was like, well, it's not like golden minions sell for more. Like, why would I want this to happen?
Yeah. Like, it's only a 5/5. Like this is terrible.
Wait, well, even if they did sell for more, they'd have to sell for a lot more. Would you be excited for, I'm going to buy this 6-drop minion so that I can turn another minion into a 3 gold pirate? Like, no, that wouldn't be exciting at all.
That's what I'm saying. That even that seems terrible still. But if you can make something in the tavern golden and then buy it and then triple it into something crazy like that, like makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I do want to back up just a second because we are going to have to get to tier 5 and tier 6 on Murlocs.
Through tier 3.
I'm mildly concerned for Swolefin. It doesn't seem very good because it's a battle cry game +2/+1 for each other friendly Murloc on Tavern tier 3.
I think it's definitely a good tempo card if you have Murloc.
Slysssa hates it.
I mean, I don't know. He's cute. He's swole.
He's so happy about it too. He's like, look these muscles. Smile. Don't look at these muscles. I don't have any.
Yeah, I definitely think that Honcho is a nice. Honcho kind of reminds me of a mix of rock and party rock. After you play a Murloc, give 2 other friendly Murlocs +1 health. So he's cute. I like him. I think I like him more than Swolefin. Sorry, man. He's, Honcho looks like a pirate, so he's more my type.
Man, you're going to give Swolefin a complex.
He's going to hit the gym a lot.
Just making him feel bad about himself.
Sorry, dude.
I think he's great. I think you're going to play him and he's going to get like +10, +5, and everyone's going to be happy.
I definitely did not, for some reason, lose all sound in my earpiece.
Okay, we were just talking about Swolefin and muscles, and you didn't really miss too much. Okay. Hard-hitting analysis.
I figured out the meta while you were gone, but whatever.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, luckily, I can download it after the fact and listen back. Just pump my own podcast numbers. It'll be good. Let's take a look at dragons as we move right along. It seems like it's still just mostly about dragon buffs.
So they got rid of the boring 1-drop, which is great. I'm happy about this.
Yeah, Dragon's Fun Lieutenant is out of here, as well as Steward of Time, Togwaggle, Hangry Dragon, and Herald of Flame. I'm gonna miss Herald of Flame.
A moment of silence for Hangry Dragon, please.
For
Hank never grew, and you know it.
He was just cursed, and that's unfair to Hank.
Cursed.
Imagine if they made him a 5/5. He would do wonders. But I think the what I want to emphasize about dragons is that they definitely dragons really struggled. They couldn't scale unless you hit Razor Gore or Caligos. There was just no other scaling with it. And that's very late. So if you keep whiffing on triples and you can't level because you're starting to lose, it becomes near impossible to play dragons. And then you have to hit the Caligos, which is very hard when they're adding in all these 6-drops. So I think it's really important to note that they added in a scale on tier 4 with the prize promo Drake. This is replacing the 6/6 dragon that overkilled. The prize promo Drake will give adjacent minions 1/1 for each friendly dragon. The adjacent minions do not have to be dragons, which is different than the way the Quillboar adjacent works. Yes. But it gives adjacent minions 1/1 for each friendly dragon. So the more dragons, the better. And so this will allow you to scale early. And then if you triple, you can hit Nadina and feel more comfortable taking Nadina to face someone who's like really powerful and get back in the game. So yeah, I really like this prize promo Drake card for dragons.
I think Terragosa is really interesting too. Tier 3 dragon minion, because this is I think the first time we've seen a minion that just straight up says, anything that happens in combat, I keep. That's
so that
her
would be
entire
like
idea. Spawn of N'Zoth buff.
Yeah. Stuff that happens, buffs that happen during combat, she would keep.
She keeps them,
So Divine Shield she could get. And so that could be really interesting. That's the type of card that I probably won't know until I feel and play it, whether I like it or not. But I think it's a good replacement for Hank. Though, what if it's cursed just like Hank and never gets an enchantment?
But I feel like this is a little bit more in your control. Like Hank was very much or Hangry Dragon was very much like just very binary, right? Like you won or you lost. And that was it. And there was no
you always lost, even if you're 95% chance to win.
Yeah, you always lost. So at least this way, that's a little bit in your control. And if you put her on the board with a Spawn of N'Zoth, you're gonna get that buff as long as Spawn dies, which Spawn almost always dies. Unless you do something crazy to buff him, which why are you doing that? You're spawning wrong. So
there's also the level 3 neutral we're getting, Budding Green Thumb, where it gives adjacent minions +1/+2, but that's already permanent.
Yes, yeah.
So have to be in combat ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're losing the demon that when it dies gives buffs, right? Fiendish Servant. That's out of here.
We're getting a new demon that when it dies, it gives health buffs now.
Yeah,
the opposite. Yeah.
So get a little demon garnish with your Terragosa.
And there's also another shooty boy for dragon. I love shooty boy comps, so that was like a soul juggler comp or a cannon. And then we just added it for mech, so now we have Prestor's Pyro Spawn. Did I say that right? Let's hope I did. Whenever another friendly dragon attacks, deal 3 damage to its target. So that's interesting.
That seems almost
points.
Like piratey. Kind of. It seems to me, just the flavor of that, smooshes together pirates buffing other pirates when they attack, but also juggle cannon things.
Yeah, but the attack would happen before the minion attack lands, so it would be removing things like Divine Shield. Yes. Or potentially.
This is what I missed. This is what a dev is shouting out that I missed, is that it's going to knock Divine Shields off first. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, that's very cool. Also, potentially just kills it before the minion even makes contact if it has 3 or less health.
how would that work? Would the attack still resolve and your minion take damage from a minion that died from the dragon fire shot?
I'm thinking of it like first strike in Magic, so I would assume that it just wouldn't. It would just cancel out the attack, but I may be talking slowly to see if we get a response from chat room before we move on. The attack just gets canceled. Okay.
Oh, that is amazing then.
So yeah, it works like first strike. That's awesome. This is so freaking cool.
Yes.
This got so much cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I was thinking everything would still have to resolve and the dead minion would just stay on the board and then you would lose health from your attacking minion, but now you don't, so this is better and I love it.
Are you a fan of kicking a dead horse? Like, what do you...
I like it. Not the dead horse thing, the pew pew dragon thing.
I mean, no one likes dead horses except for glue factories, so...
Shooty boy comps. You know who's gonna really love Shooty boy comps? Is everyone who complains about them because people hate.
But this isn't random though. So like, because I
it's
I
random who it attacks.
yeah.
But the mech one is not random. It's the highest health. Yes. But yes, some people really despise Soul Juggler and at the time Cannon because they thought that the shots were broken. But I think it's fun.
Oh man, I forgot about Cannon.
Let me remind you. Yeah, Cannon was fine. I didn't care.
It fell off really quick in power.
Yeah, it fell off very fast in power. But if you had it early, it was pretty powerful, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
these shooty comp stuff, I like it. I'm a fan.
Well, and that's the thing. This doesn't come into play until tier 4, right? Or I guess tripled into from 3. So it's not that early as it's like, I mean, it's later than Juggler, right? Juggler's 3.
Yep.
So
and the mech one is also on 4. So
yeah.
So Holy Mackerel, another friendly minion. This is Divine Shield game. So it's just on the mech roll. So it's not like the mech roll has a chance to give Divine Shield to the thing that just lost Divine Shield. Yeah, this is fine. This all checks out.
Yeah.
Had to think of that one through as well. But yeah, this is very cool. As well as the new shooty mech that you had mentioned. It's
shooty boy.
I like the way that these shooty boys are being designed. It's a new direction. They're a little more, I don't know, elegant in their design.
Elegant shooters.
All right, let's go to Pirates, which we already had some of these previewed like months ago when they dropped the bomb that we'd be getting 30 some odd new minions. And then they showed us like 2 pirates.
Rest in peace. No more boat.
Boat.
Die in a fire, you piece of crap. I never want to see you again.
Scam.
I'm really excited about a couple of these pirates. Peggy and Tony. PNT? TP?
Did you say Peggy? Oh, Peggy Brittlebone. My bad. So Peggy Brittlebone, 5/3 a tier 4. After a card is added to your hand, give another random pirate +1/+1. And then Tony Two Tusk is at tier 5, 4/6. Avenge 5. What is the pirates we're talking about? Make another friendly pirate golden permanently.
So you can like set this up, right? Where you have Tony Two Tusk and maybe a Hogger and like just put in a bunch of tokens or something and make the Hogger golden. Like, right? Like, I feel like you could do something like this.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's funny because a lot of the other cards are still very, very, very much about economy manipulation. Or just put a different way in the show notes.
I sure did.
Joss is referring to this as booty manipulation. But I mean, yeah, if your Tony Two Tusk plan pops off, then you have a golden hugger and you're still manipulating the economy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, well, they said the pirates are all about economy and treasure. So treasure would be golden minions. Yeah. But he seems pretty cool if you could get it to hit right. Like, it'd be hard for it to hit correctly with something like a gold grubber because that might just die too fast before the avenge would get off on it because it would have the avenge hits after 5 minions die. So
I feel like Avenge 5 is a lot easier to hit though with pirates than probably some of the other ones, just because they have the
Scallywag.
The Scallywag, yeah, with the token that attacks immediately. So it's like you get 2 things to die before your opponent gets a chance to do anything that would impact this and potentially like kill Tony off.
There's just not a lot of taunts though. So you'd really have
Yeah.
to make sure you have things up front and you're hiding him and you're adding taunts maybe. But that, yeah, it seems really fun. I think Avenge 5 is a lot, but fair for how powerful
Well,
it is.
yeah, but fair. I think
Probably
it has to
be. So yeah, I think that's fun. And something to note with the Peggy Brittlebone, and she reads, after a card's added to your hand, give another random pirate 1/1. That's any card. It's anything you buy or anything that gets put in your hand, like gems. And there is synergy with gems and pirates if you're playing APM pirates with a flat tusk. So she could really pop off and really improve APM pirates for those of you who like that.
Wouldn't it also work with a dude whose hero power is making bets, and if he wins he gets 3 coins? Those 3 coins would count, right?
Oh, you are absolutely correct. As well as any coin producing.
Lich Bosile? Yeah, let's buff
Lich,
her.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gallywix still makes coins, yes?
Yes. No, he does not.
No.
He does not. He
Never
is
mind.
my guilty pleasure right now.
Bananas?
Bananas, yeah.
King
Muckla. King Muckla. I was already finally wanting to pick Muckla sometimes on purpose, so that's cool.
Because you have the cute skin for him, right?
Yeah.
I just like big bananas.
Banana boy.
Banana boy. Oh, Hook Tusk. Oh God, let's not buff Hook Tusk.
Oh,
anymore.
yeah, this is a buff to Hook Tusk. This is a Hook Tusk buff. Freaking because he needs it. Rafam gets cards added to his hand.
Oh yeah, he gets
Oh my God, yeah. There's a lot going on here. There's elemental synergy potentially if you get Genie. Is Genie going away? No.
Genie's sticking around.
Genie's sticking around.
We have an elemental buff to talk about. Nomi Minor.
Yeah, little gnomes.
Little gnomes.
Little gnomes in elementals.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is a new 4-drop, Dazzling Light Spawn.
That one there, yeah.
Oh, no.
Should we talk about
I was literally looking for something called Nomi Minor. I'm like, I don't remember seeing a card called that, but I'll be damned if I'm going to question Slysssa on this.
You think I know cards' names?
Yeah, okay. So moving into elementals here, Dazzling Lightspawn, Tavern Tier 4, 4/5, Avenge 2, Elementals, and Bob's Tavern have +1/+1 for the rest of the game. That's spicy.
Little Nomi.
It's little Nomi.
And Nomi is still in the game.
Yeah, Nomi's still in the game, but this guy happens sooner because Nomi's always too late.
Yeah. So, but this would allow you, to have this before you get to Nomi, because like Domo transition into Nomi was kind of weird. Because normally if you hit Major Domo, you might just stick with him, and it was really hard to go from that to Nomi. But this could transition into Nomi quite well because the minion's already buffed in the shop, so you can just kindly cycle or have both.
That's very exciting.
Once they're too big, they're likely not dying as much. So
Major Domo's still in, which I do think is weird. Because that card I think is still just awkward.
Oh, he's so good. What? I love Domo. I mean, he's only good situationally. Like if you're struggling, you can't find triples, you could just stay on 4 and just kind of buy elementals and scale something to the left to try and salvage a top 4.
The good old to the left strategy.
Yeah.
Beyonce save us.
Then you face an Alakir, you're like, damn it. Stupid Alakir.
Yeah, that tends to happen. But yeah, I mean, elementals overall, it doesn't seem like there's a big crazy new direction. It's still about amassing
they did
stats.
Change Gar. Gar is no longer around, and they changed it with Master Realities, which is still a taunt. It starts smaller as a 6/6, and it scales in attack and health. And I feel like this buff, nerf change came because of poison change, maybe? Like it was just scaling too much in health. But
and at the same time, not really
this
killing
isn't
anything.
an elemental itself,
oh,
right?
it's not an elemental.
not,
True.
no.
I didn't even think of that.
Anything that you're doing that's buffing other elementals, like rag hits, well, I guess rag hits will still go on this, but like anything that would just only buff elementals,
It's like a party
isn't
elemental.
going to work here anymore. Yeah, isn't going to work here anymore.
Interesting. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
I do like the new 3-drop. I like the new 3-drop Smogger.
Yeah, Smogger, 3/3 elemental, battle cry, give a friendly elemental stats equal to your tavern tier. Oh, hell yeah.
You replace the 3/3 that gave 1/1 to each elemental, and this one's a target, so you can give it to Cyclone, and you can feel happy about it. You'd rather give 3/3 to Cyclone on tier 3 than to give 1/1 to Cyclone. So
that's a lot more exciting. Historically, outside of Major Domo, finding Cyclones kind of felt like, unless I found Cyclone like my first turn on tier 3, it just felt sad because it was hard to scale it if I wasn't already doing like a party elemental situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which, why weren't you party rocking? Because come on.
Well, because you don't always find the party rock, okay? The party rock has to find you. You cannot force
it.
You cannot force party rock. No, that's not it. The party rock finds you.
No, you force it. If you're me, who's addicted to a Rana right now, you're like, ew. Not healthy. My Rana addiction is not healthy. That and Gallywix. Oh man, Gallywix is way too much fun. Send help.
So the only other elemental we lost is Arcane Assistant, which was the board wide, give your elementals +2/+2. Which, yeah, I would say like the only thing that kind of stinks there is Gar, but Gar's gone too. So
yeah,
doesn't really matter. I think Smogger is just so much better. So, and then Quillboar, that's going to be a short conversation because it kind of feels like they went, you're too damn new. You get nothing new.
I think it's like almost, is it like a slight nerf?
Is it? Yeah. So Thorn Collar's out, and in its place is Gem Splitter at Tavern Tier 3. After a friendly minion loses Divine Shield, gain a Blood Gem. Like this feels like a mid-game mech card more than a Quillboar.
It just seems a lot harder to get the gem, and but unless you have a lot of Divine Shields, then you get a lot of gems. So maybe I'm wrong, but it's kind of small for a starter 2/4. That's a tier 2 stat line, and this is on tier 3. So it's just kind of starting small. So you have to already have the comp to make this work, in my opinion.
Yeah, Thorn Collar. Yeah, Thorn Collar was a guaranteed blood gem on Death Rattle +1 just when you played Thorn Collar. In case you don't remember the card, dear listeners.
I had to Google it. I couldn't remember
the
who
Death
was
Rattle
who.
4/3, yeah.
Yeah, so this
For a second, I thought it was the one that moves the blood gems, and I was like, oh
no,
that would be so sad.
That would be very.
When you
sad.
said it was a nerf, I was like, oh wait, what? But yeah, no, Thorn Collar's the 4/3, right?
Yeah, it's only better if you have 2 of the Divine Shield Quillboar, and they have Divine Shields, which you have to play blood gems on them each and every turn to give them Divine Shields, unless they're golden. But
which, like, yeah, I think there's like a little bit of synergy there because you're like using the gems from the splitter to go over onto the ones to make Divine Shields to then get more gems out of your splitter. Like, I can definitely see that synergy, but it is more difficult, I think, than just straight up every time I die, I give you the thing that you want.
yeah, it just seems a little odd to me is all. Like, I can't think of that many times where I've had like early game 2 Tough Tusks on board and both had Divine Shields consistently. Gem Splitter, little funky on the Gem Splitter.
But I'm also kind of okay with Quillboar not getting buffed and not getting new fanciness. Like, they were already fully designed with Battlegrounds in mind, right? Like, we weren't like tied in any way, shape, or form to standard with Quillboar. They were just straight up made for Battlegrounds. So I think that they probably needed the least amount of help. And I think that this update is mostly focused on stuff we'd had since the beginning and just kind of updating those minion types as opposed to the new stuff.
Yeah, it's pointed out that this new card is very much more geared towards a Divine Shield comp, not necessarily a Quillboar comp. So, like if you have a Mech comp going with a Holy Mech roll, and you're just getting over 7 jumps per turn, and then you can scale your mechs better. Something more like along that line.
Well, they should be holding like
maybe
a Mech,
menagerie thing with the when you add cards to your hand, pirate chick.
Oh god.
Ooh, that's spicy. I like that. I can get into that.
She only buffs a pirate, so she'll buff an Amalgadon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Well,
I do like that a lot of those minions that do the buffs very specifically say, because we saw the text on the beast as well, like another friendly beast, so they don't like self buff, which I think is really good.
Yeah. I think to your point earlier, like your hypothetical of Quillboars, did they just get worse? I think a little bit, a tiny little bit with Gem Splitter, but this is definitely more interesting for the whole potential draft pool in terms of its interaction with Divine Shield.
Oh, Peggy doesn't say another. Oh no, it does say another. Give
she
another.
Does,
random.
yeah, she does. Yeah.
Can't buff herself. Rip.
Scrolling up to Peggy.
Peggy.
I
Give
literally
another
tried
random
to
pirate.
scroll Discord, and then I was like, "Wait, no, that's Garrett's screen. I can't scroll Garrett's screen."
I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying.
I apparently can because I did the same thing and it did it in synergy with me. So I have the power.
Less delay between
like,
Florida.
yeah. Mind meld you've got going over there.
It's all the bath salts in the air. It has created a psychic link. Yeah.
Oh.
And that's all the minion types. We made it through. And it wasn't 7 hours like some people in our Discord were joking. Yeah. So we got some new neutral cards. We already talked a little bit about Budding Green Thumb. There's Witchwing Nestmatron. Sounds like a rejected Transformer. Oh, is it Matron? Oh, there you go, Nestmatron. Nestmatron is so much more fun to say.
I get in so much trouble with my chat every time I say Matron, but it just goes with the song that I sing so much better.
What's the song?
Nestmatron. I sing it with Ringmatron, and they're like, "It's Matron." I'm like, "That doesn't work with the song." Shut up.
Everything's just a transformer to me, but yeah, Nestmatron, as I will only call it from now on, is a tier 4 3/5 Avenge 3 add a random battle cry minion to your hand. I'm not excited for this card, really.
It's money. It's a new form of money, I would call it. Money
I don't want to work this hard for my money.
It's fine. It's fine, okay?
Well, you could put it far right, and then you'd probably get 2 battle cry minions out of it.
If you have money, you can level a 5 faster.
I mean, I better put it far right. It only has 3 attack on tier 4. It's not going to be killing Jack.
No.
But yeah, the stats on the tier that it's on has me very alarmed, and Avenge, as cool and exciting as Avenge is, it is a delayed effect. So you're getting no power increase the turn you play this card.
True.
Unless you consider 3/5 a power increase, in which that case on tier 4, I weep for your board. But
can we talk a little bit about the taunt stuff that's going away? Because that makes me pretty happy.
Karaji is out. Karaji is out for these new Avenge cards, is my guess. Arm of Empire has been a slight nerf, moving down to 4 health.
But also the Ritualist, the Tormented Ritualist, that 2/3 taunt
2/3
guy that buffs the dudes beside him.
I loved him because he nerfed N'Zoth. He made you think about your positioning more, where you have to always have a 3 attack minion first. And you could abuse people who didn't do that. It nerfed N'Zoth, so now N'Zoth will be better again without that.
That's fair. Yeah, because they're not. I like Tormented Ritualist as well. Could get a little annoying in the mid game, but it wasn't that bad. Arm of the Empire is not out.
No, it's still there. It's just
nerfed in health. That's
Bolvar's
fine.
out.
Yeah.
Rest their king.
Bolvar's out when we actually might have a Divine Shield comp. I didn't notice that. Oh, that
I
bums
think
me a little
Bolvar's
bit.
out because they're doing so many things with Divine Shield, and I liked Bolvar quite a lot, but he was definitely very, very situational, and when you had the right kind of comp coming together, he could be a really cool, fun finisher, and usually nobody wanted him, so you could pretty much get golden Bolvars, and it was pretty easy. But he was kind of very, very specific, and I think you would just see him way too often with all the other Divine Shield stuff that they're doing now. And I think Bolvar died so we could have more Divine Shield in more new and interesting ways.
Yeah, I think back to what the 7 minions looked like back in Holy Mackerel days, and I think we'll see that again. It was a lot of times the Bolvars were in there and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Might just be a little too strong, or just like made room for Avenge cards, which Avenge cards don't work great with Divine Shield, but
yeah,
interesting.
So I mean, as far as Tan, I mean, Champion of Yashiraj is still in. So the big one is Kiraji leaving.
Yeah, it's a really
as well
big
as Tormented
deal.
Ritualist. It's
Rip Nat Pagel.
Nat Pagel's out.
Pagel's gone too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll miss
Faceless is a big deal.
Faceless is interesting, yeah. Because I mean, I think that it was fun to play with while it was in there, but the combination of Hamul and Faceless made late game stuff way too easy to triple and way too easy to get consistent stuff. And I get why it's a one or the other situation, and I like Hamul, and he comes into play way, way, way late in the game. So I think it's probably better this way. But yeah, Faceless, that was a bit of a surprise to me. Some of the stuff that they like introduced so recently, leaving so quickly, was shocking to me.
I never really thought about that link, but yeah, I guess they are. The two of them together is a lot, and I would rather have Hamul.
It's a lot of late game consistency. Yeah.
Would you rather them remove Faceless or tokens?
Tokens.
Listen,
I'm on a show with Slysssa. I know what the right answer here is.
Listen, I would like you to come back on the show. So I'll no, I like Faceless.
Yeah, so you want them to remove tokens?
Yeah,
but on board.
But more because I just like Faceless, and not so much because I'm getting farmed by Shutterwalks. Because again, I'm not on the leaderboard, so yeah. You just need to keep up the sick Battlegrounds tips so that I eventually become not terrible at this game mode, and then I'll be concerned with tokens, as concerned as with tokens. That's what needs to happen.
I've been saying remove tokens for like 2 years now, but for different reasons than Shutterlock.
BlizzCon 2019, she was like, "No, these are broken. Get them out."
We were both up at the demo station, not really sure how to play this. Going, I don't know how to play this, but I feel like tokens are busted.
Tokens.
Alley Cat, way too powerful.
You know what? The pandemic has made all my ears smooshy, and I don't know what is what anymore.
My very first game of Battlegrounds at BlizzCon, someone stood up and goes, "All right, who the hell drafted nothing but Murlocs?" And that was me. That was me. It was great. It was wonderful. I miss gaming conventions, y'all.
Maybe one of these years.
Listen, I will wear a hazmat suit if it means I can go party. That sounds good. Bring it. Bring it. Also bring this Battleground update, which luckily we don't need to wait more than 24 hours for it.
I'm excited for tomorrow. This is gonna be really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a big one. So this should hit tomorrow, servers willing. And best of luck to everyone as we figure it out. So that's going to bring us to the end of this episode. If you want to write in, be a part of the show on weeks when there isn't 90 minutes of nonstop talking to be had, which I have a feeling it's going to be another week or two before that is the case. right into tacpodcast@gmail.com. That is the inbox for this here podcast, and that's how you can write in and reach us. If you're supporting us on patreon.com/TAC, well, you're in our Discord, and you can just message us in there, skip the inbox entirely. We also want to give a huge thanks to our Patreon producers, Declan H. and Jeffrey D. Thank you for your support. Other than that, you can follow the show on Twitter @TAC Podcast, where right now you can go follow that account and retweet our most recent tweet for a chance to win a Battlegrounds bundle. So go do that. Go do it right now.
Dragons.
Yeah. Go do it. But before we leave, Slysssa, as our guest today, if folks are somehow unaware of where they can watch you completely own at Battlegrounds or rage at tokens, where can people do so?
I rage at Shudderwalks 7 days or 6 days a week on twitch.tv/Slysssa, spelled with 4 S's, 3 consecutive SLYSSSA. I also have a YouTube that gets posted to daily, youtube.com/SlyssaHS. Again, same amount of S's. And on Twitter, I post.
I feel like this comes up often.
Yeah, people just don't know how to correctly spell Slysssa. That's a very standard way of spelling. I'm on Twitter too. I like to post a lot of Hearthstone content, like baby raging about tokens. Yeah, those are the places.
Joce, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch. I'm at Joce Plays. That's JOCE Plays. And go and check out The Instance, which I am now co-hosting, which is super fun every Friday.
Oh, that's rad. I like that show and may also be on it myself. So now I get to talk to Jocelyn twice a week. It used to be about World of Warcraft, and now it isn't.
Now it's about video games.
Oh, okay.
We cover one major overarching gaming topic per week.
Yeah.
So it's usually... Yeah, last time we talked about why the hell we're excited for some remakes and could not give less of a crap about others.
Oh.
Yeah. I talked a lot about Tony Hawk because I went back to replaying that recently. I'm on Twitter at Garrett Art. This podcast and every single other one that I produce can be found over at amove.tv. So go to amove.tv. And I would also recommend checking out the old AMove YouTube. It is alive again. You can go to youtube.com/AMoveTV, where I am doing at least one post a week with my good buddy Kyle, where we talk about breaking game news. It's almost like there's been a lot of things happening with Blizzard, and we needed a dedicated space to keep everyone up to date on certain things going on. With that, it's over at youtube.com/AMoveTV. You should go watch right now. And Ridiculous Hat couldn't be with us today, but make sure you go follow Ridiculous Hat on Twitter at Ridiculous Hat and check out his podcasts, Coin Concede and the Vicious Syndicate podcast. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. Thanks again, Slysssa, for joining us, and thank you everyone at home for listening. Until next time, job's done.
Job's done.
Done.
Hail to the yeah, except not Twitter, Discord cut off your jobs. It was just you saying done. It was great.
And I thought you said dumb. Job's done. Job's done. Dumb.
Dumb. I mean, if you don't want the conversation to be over, we could crack some high noons and continue yelling about tokens, but.
Oh my God. Don't get me started. I just feel like I'm gonna wake up tomorrow for my China game and then like get 8th place to someone who got tokens with Shudderwalk. And then I'm gonna be like, well, that was fun. And go cry.
Cry at 5 a.m. Why am I up this early and also I got walked?
Oh, goodness. Chat, you've been awesome. Thanks for hanging. Extra special thanks to the devs who have been hanging out today, correcting and or blowing our minds with plays we did not consider. That was a nice little treat.
Giving us all the infos.
Helping me with my reading problems. Comprehension. Yeah. English issues as well. I was a math teacher. I mean, I think it's very obvious.
Who needs words when you have numbers?
Only one side of my brain works. I can't help it. All right. I gotta run.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye,
Chat,
guys.
Thanks for hanging as well. I'm going to bring the stream down now.
Bye,
as
friend.
Everything explodes as Slysssa leaves the Discord call. There it is. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Talk to you later. If you miss the show, it'll be up on the podcast feed very, very soon. So go subscribe to The Angry Chicken wherever it is you get your podcasts. Bye now.